Hey, Michigan First Alert meteorologist Mason Gleva here with your afternoon weather update. It was another foggy morning, especially for areas to the south like Jackson, but that fog has cleared out and we even have some peaks of sun for a change today. We're going to say hello to Jackson here. You can see a mix of sun and clouds. We'll call it mostly cloudy out there at the airport in Jackson, 82 degrees. It's a little muggy out there with dew points well into the 60s. Satellite and radar, a whole lot of nothing for us. Maybe a few sprinkles trying to pop up closer to Hillsdale. We could deal with some of those later today, but the best areas to see those would be along and south of 94. You zoom this out and you can see all of the rain and storms hitting areas that don't need the rain across Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, where they've gotten since Monday a foot to a foot and a half of rain in spots from these rounds of storms. More flash flood warnings in central Indiana. They had water rescues in those regions. Earlier this week, northwest Indiana is gradually starting to get power back. Some friends of mine that live in northwest Indiana got texts from the power company saying they're hoping to have power restored by Tuesday, but the worst case scenario would be a week from today, next Friday. So a long road to recovery for the southwest suburbs of Chicago and northwest Indiana after the storms this week. And you can see some of those radar indicated rain totals since lunchtime Monday. Newcastle area in eastern Indiana, that's 17.2. Stark and Pulaski counties in northern Indiana, about 15 inches radar indicated, and then just south of the Quad Cities even just over 9 inches of rain. So areas that do not need rain are in for more rain here in the next 24 hours. And in addition to all of the rain, they've had rounds of severe weather, usually about one a day since Monday. Lots of winds and hail reports. There was golf ball sized hail in northern Indiana before that squall line on Monday. Another weather story, we got a hurricane to talk about, nowhere near the mainland United States, but in the central Pacific. We have Tropical Storm Lala right now, expected to make landfall on the big island of Hawaii. Early Saturday morning, could be mid-morning Sunday as a Category 1 hurricane out there. Not going to be an us problem, but that's another talk of the weather world. In addition, it's just swampy here. Dew points near 70 degrees. Dew points are going to climb a little more ahead of our rain chance overnight tonight into our Saturday. But currently 82 degrees here in Lansing, 81 in Charlotte, 82 as well in Marshall and Jackson. A little cooler in Hillsdale where they've been dealing with clouds all morning long at 77 degrees. Everybody, we should recover into the 80s. We'll add probably 3-ish more degrees, topping out right around 85 here in Lansing under a mix of sun and clouds, only falling into the mid to upper 60s overnight tonight because of all of that humidity. Timing things out hour by hour, here's well after sunset, closer to midnight, we could have some scattered showers on the board. But notice we're still near 70 degrees, so it's going to be a swampy night, and then we'll deal with on and off showers through our Saturday. This isn't the greatest news for the ox roast in DeWitt, but most of this, if this model is right, would be to the south of Lansing, which would mean the ox roast is dry up there. Temperatures holding in the 70s tomorrow. Could have a rumble of thunder or two Saturday afternoon, but that really depends on if we get a break in the rain and see some sunshine to see if the storms can get any energy to work with. And then these showers should end by the time we get our Sunday rolling, starting Sunday out near 70 degrees. How much rain are we talking? Well, if the number's loaded, up to an inch. This model's updating as I talk, that's why nothing's there. Up to an inch of rain, but in areas that see training thunderstorms, you could pick up an inch or two, especially with all of the humidity we have around. Here's the 10-day forecast. Mostly sunny today, mid-80s. We'll keep the 80s around really throughout the next week. Chances for storms tomorrow. There's not going to be a complete washout. There should be some dry time in there. Highest coverage looks to be south of Lansing. Some of those showers could linger into Sunday, and then we have lots and lots of sunshine to start our week next week before our next chance of rain Wednesday. But after Wednesday, that'll knock us into the 70s with some lower humidity. Lows will be back in the 50s once again. Andy will have more updates to come on the weekend's rain chances in our 90 minutes of news. And of course, Brian tonight with our lead steer. And I'll have the weather for you live tomorrow morning because we will probably have some storms around. Thanks for watching, Mid-Michigan.